There's a new street fighter on your windowsill. The weapon is peace, the word is...
Hello Marvel Legends, it's time for another Legends Legacy review. I'm really enjoying being back doing these now, and it's time for our first Walgreens exclusive figure, an exclusive! It is Agent Venom, Flash Thompson. Now, this is a character I'm personally a big fan of, but did they do him justice in the figure? Spoiler, yeah, they did, but it's not perfect. There's so much going on here, but also so much that could have been done better. I'm going to stick with the stand on this because there's a lot sort of happening with this figure. So first of all, at a glance, captured him brilliantly. This is a perfect, I feel, visual representation of the Agent Venom in his suit, doing his thing. I loved the character costume design for this. They really were going through a period of just changing the Venom symbiote, giving him different hosts, different looks. We had just had the whole run with Matt Gargan having the symbiote, which I was a fan of what they were doing sort of with the character. It was a very interesting sort of psychological character study, but I didn't like the big monstrous Venom. I felt he lost a lot of what I liked about the character. So when they went a completely different direction with Flash Thompson, I was on board. I was like, okay, what are we going to do? And they went so different with this sort of James Bond style agent of the government. I say James Bond, actually, that's where the comparison ends. The character in series is nothing like that, because the series is dark and gruesome and quite horrific, and I love that. I'm going to do a video all about like a Flash Thompson wave, because I adored that early Agent Venom run. Actually, the whole Agent Venom run is good. I lost track a little bit at the end, but when it was good, it was great, and this figure captures so much of that. You see, he's got the wonderful sort of detailing. One thing like that they did as an artistic touch was giving him this kind of like armor on his knees and his shoulders, which look a lot like sort of like beetle, a beetle shell armor kind of thing. So it makes it look very insectoid, and of course you keep the classic Venom spider design here. One thing I find with my figure, which might just be my paint job, is the paint job on the white design isn't that clean. It could be a little bit sharper. Wonderfully though, as far as accessories go, of course, he comes with 4 guns, which is great, because you have this back piece as well, so you can actually have the guns being held in the symbiote tendrils, which is just a great way of taking what the character can do, taking his power set and transferring it into a very toyetic figure. Now, I don't have all of the original guns on him. I do have the original guns, but I've kind of divided them out amongst different characters who I feel would work very well with them. This grenade launcher is not a classic Venom gun, but I was like, you know what, it kind of pops. I like it. So the guns aren't original from what he came with, but they work really well. They don't always hold too well in the symbiote tendrils, so you got to be kind of careful, which is why I have him on a flight stand as well, because then I can just park him down and he'll stay put. The detail on the belt as well is wonderful. You've got the satchel, you've got the knife hanging down there, you've got the grenades on there as well. So many little points here that, they didn't have to sculpt. They could have been cheap with, but they went the extra mile. You got the gun in the holster there. People might complain that the gun is actually, it's molded in. You can't take it out. Actually, I'm saying that. It's part and parcel. But that's fine, because he comes with so many guns. You don't need to be able to take this one out of the holster. So that works great. It's the level of detail. Again, like, look at the shin guards. Like I was saying, you've got that rough beetle type texture on the shin guns. Shin guns? That would be excessive. On the shin guards, I think works so well for this character. Now, what he's lacking is a changeable head. That would really boost him up and give him a lot more value, because Flash is quite an iconic character, and I don't think there are no other Flash Thompson figures, so it would be nice to actually have a Flash Thompson head. But you know what, you could probably chuck on a Johnny Storm head or an MCU Captain America head. That would work for Flash. Again, speaking of Flash, that's why I love the character, because, you know, it's a character that has changed so much, from the high school bully to, you know, an alcoholic to a war veteran, you know, losing his legs, and then the symbiote recreating those legs. And they've done a similar route with Eddie Brock in the current Venom arc. Brock loses a hand, and now the symbiote recreates his hand for him, which is an interesting touch. Like, it's not something that I think, like, you know, oh, this is going to change the character entirely, but it's nice that the symbiote kind of completes him, like literally completes him now. I think that's really, really nice. The mask itself, even though we don't get the head sculpt, the mask looks decent. There's some furrowed brow to give a bit more expression, and just I like the white outline rather than big white eyes. Also, what you could have done is given us a venomed out head, because he would do that sometimes, where he like just loses it and goes full symbiote with the teeth and the tongue. I think actually the Back in Black Deadpool Venom head would probably work quite well in that regard. I might have to try a little head swap later on. But on the whole, guys, this is a figure I'm very, very fond of. Some folks say, they pointed out to me when I was telling them how much I like it, the ball joint hips are a little bit dated. You know, they are a bit out of date. But at the same time, when he's posed like this, it don't really matter. You know, we don't really need an update to the figure, because I think he looks fantastic. The question is, though, where does he go on the Legends Legacy rankings? Well, let's find out. I feel this guy definitely has more going on for him than Sentry, so we're going to go above Sentry. Hawkeye, I do love Hawkeye, but again, I've got more affection for this character, and I think with the guns and the tendrils, he goes above there. The question is, Anti-Venom. Do we go above Anti-Venom? Yes, because I'm really only putting Anti-Venom up there because he's a boy, and, you know, I've got a little affection for him. Pizza Spider-Man, though, is iconic. He's arguably a perfect figure. You could say there's an argument to be had for that. So I will go one spot below Pizza Spider-Man, which is still a fantastic place in the Legends Legacy rankings. And there you go, Agent Venom doing himself proud there. It's funny, the sun and the clouds outside just mean that it's getting brighter and darker. This is like I said, this is not a great setup for YouTube videos, but you don't come here for the quality. You come here for the bants, I hope. Wow, it's getting really dark here. It's like there's a total eclipse of the sun. I'm waiting for Audrey 2 to appear somewhere. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I love doing these videos, and I love talking to you about them in the comments as well. If you haven't yet, join the 6-1 Clicks by clicking the like, share, and subscribe buttons. You don't have to share, that's asking a little much, but like and subscribe, that means the world to me. Wow, I'm virtually disappearing in this darkness. It's time for me to sign out. Guys, I will see you in the next episode. Oh, and I'm back again. This is madness. Anyway, until next time, keep displaying model behavior.